Well, if you're looking for something to do in Indianapolis, we've got a list for you. 100 Things to Do in Indy Before You Die was recently released, and we're joined by the author today, Ashley Petrie. Ashley, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What prompted you to write this book, 100 Things to Do in Indianapolis Before You Die?
Well, it's actually part of a national guidebook series, so the publisher approached me about doing the Indianapolis version, and I was so excited because I've lived here all my life, and I think there are wonderful things happening here that I'm excited to share.
Now, we asked you to come up with 5 things that people may not know that are on the list. So your list included the Rhythm Discovery Center, downtown Indianapolis.
Right.
Many people don't know that that's there. What is it all about?
Right. They walk past it every day. It's right in Circle Center. It's actually a National Museum of Percussion. So it features all the earliest percussion instruments all the way through to drum kits owned by famous musicians. But the best part is that you can go and experiment and play tons of different instruments and have a good time.
Make lots of noise.
Right.
The second place that you recommended for us, Crown Hill Cemetery.
Right.
It's really a gem of our city, but people just don't know everything that's offered.
Absolutely. There's so much history there, and one of the best ways to access that is to do one of their walking tours. They have general overview tours, but they also have tours focused on specific quote-unquote residents. So women, African Americans, artists, all sorts of different tours. And the James Whitcomb Riley Monument is at the top of the highest hill in Marion County, so you can go up there, take a picnic, and get a great view of the downtown skyline.
I'm so glad you recommended that, because whenever people come into town and visit, I always take them to
Yes.
Crown Hill Cemetery. We do a walking tour. At
Right.
first they're thinking, what? And then they say it's one of the best things that they've ever done.
Absolutely.
Now, we're all pretty familiar with Conner Prairie, but there's something specific that you recommend doing at Conner Prairie.
Right. So many people don't know that Conner Prairie has a wealth of educational opportunities for adults. And one of my favorites is Follow the North Star, which is basically a simulation of the Underground Railroad. So it starts out with you being at a slave auction and sold, and then eventually you have an opportunity to escape, and you don't know whether you're going to succeed or not. So it really sort of puts you in the shoes of someone who might be going through that experience. It's not fun, it's very intense, and it's completely unforgettable.
It brings history to life, an
Absolutely.
important time that we need to learn about.
Absolutely.
Butler University is also on your list,
Yes.
but it's a specific highlight at Butler.
Right. Actually, Butler University has one of the largest public observatories in the country. And so you can go gaze through their telescope, you can do a planetarium show, and it only costs $3, so it's a good cheap date.
And what do you think about Lafayette Square? That's really coming back for our city.
Absolutely. I think if you haven't been to Lafayette Square in a while, it's time to go back. It has such a wealth of ethnic dining, from things we're used to like Chinese and Mexican food, all the way through to more unusual things like Peruvian food, Ethiopian food, all kinds of things.
The big question, what is number 1 on the list of 100 things you have to do in Indianapolis before you die?
I know I should say the Indy 500, especially this week, but I'm actually going to say the Children's Museum because it's something that I've enjoyed from my childhood all the way through to, I still have a good time there now.
It's fun to go as an adult, right?
Absolutely.
Maybe you appreciate some of the things just a little bit more.
Absolutely.
All right, now there's actually a book launch party coming up this Friday. Tell me about that.
It's at Indy Reads at 7 o'clock on Friday. So, of course, like everything at Indy Reads, a portion benefits their adult literacy programs. But we'll have book signings, and we'll have an Indianapolis trivia contest as well.
All right, well, thank you so much. We appreciate you stopping by today. Thanks so much for doing the book and giving us so many options for Indianapolis. The book is also available on Amazon.com and local booksellers, also Barnes & Noble. Scott?